when Jerome Powell leaves and goes into a regular Fed position, the new chair, Kevin Walsh, who's historically been real hawkish, right? I think that's the right term, hawkish. And when this transition happens, the markets usually react in a crazy way. So volatility, the leadership changes. Despite his reputation as a pro-crypto candidate, while expected to lower interest rates to boost liquidity, Warsh's immediate focus on hawkish, rules-based policy to fight inflation could create short-term pressure on Bitcoin. So then we got this clip here I want to show you, which I thought was very interesting. Let's play it from the Wolf of All Streets.
Now, the next story that I just want to touch on is this one right here. So this is the story you'll read on the mainstream media. Fed Chair Powell confronts his final big decision, stay or go. For our purposes, we'll let Bloomberg and Fox Business and Yahoo Finance on their other shows unpack the implications of Jerome Powell potentially leaving, whether he won't, what Kevin Warsh means. All I know is that Kevin Warsh is a crypto degen. This guy, that's not the picture I meant to bring up. I'm just kidding. He was called a sock puppet there. And then, last week we talked about his hair. It's amazing. He looks like Dark Helmet. And I'm going to be honest, 10 minutes ago, we were working on memes and we settled on this one. He's a sock puppet who's also Dark Helmet, who's testifying in Congress. But either way, Kevin Warsh, as I told you last week, has a massive crypto portfolio, over 30 investments. He's not going to use his position at the Fed to pump his bags as much as people in the crypto media might say. So he's going to divest his interests. But the story to me is that having this crypto-friendly Fed chair means you have somebody who actually understands the industry, actually understands the asset class, how it works, how it moves. You can see this through where he's actually allocated his capital, who's going to be in charge of one of the largest agencies that's not officially a part of the United States government, the Fed. You align this with a Paul Atkins, who's a crypto believer at the SEC, with Michael Seelig, who's a crypto believer at the CFTC, and you can see exactly where the puck is moving. We have a lot of very smart people who are very, very passionate about crypto in major positions of power, and in my estimation, that is only a good thing. So I assume that Warsh will get confirmed at some point. I do assume that Powell will step out of the way. We curiously had the DOJ drop their probe that was the blocker just in time for Warsh to likely get brought in. So I think that this is a massive positive for the crypto industry.
Okay.
Have you ever wondered where real
Let me close that. So you heard it right there. I thought that was a great breakdown. So I wanted to show y'all what was going on there. And hearing about the new Fed being essentially pro-crypto. He has a big bag. Obviously, he's going to want his bags to go up. We have a lot of people in this administration or just in Congress in general who are pro-crypto. So we're hoping that crypto doesn't do a crazy, pullback. We just want it to stabilize, but we have to expect that to happen. The dip probably will come. Initially, maybe a few weeks ago, I told y'all like this box here I put in green is about 55,000 to 49,000. Around here, I was like, the price could go back down to here, which is under the 200-day moving average that essentially says on the weekly, are we in a bull market? Are we in a bear market? On the weekly, we're still in a bull market, fortunately. But if you notice here, it's been bouncing off since October, and then we came almost all the way pretty much back down here on February 2nd. So as I look at it, this is still a possibility. This will be, if it does happen, I'm seeing it as a final shakeout. We don't want to see it happen, but it could happen right around that 200 going into this range here. So as of now, you can see we're pretty much locked at about 79, 80,000. That's where I drew this white line. And this is last week. This is this week. It clearly went up there and rejected. This blue line is a historical line because that's where the all-time high was in 2024. That's why you can see it turn from resistance to support, then it breaks through. And now we're slightly above it, fighting that 80,000. Important things to look at. And if we zoom in on the daily, we're under the 200-day moving average. Does that make sense? Does that make sense from a technical perspective? We're under. The high possibility is that we fight in this range for a while. We either break to the upside, which will be positive, or again, in my initial, we start to head back down in this direction. And right now, since everything is so fragile, a tweet could do it. Another war announcement could do it. Anything could happen. What's good, Philip Riley? What's good? What's good? Appreciate you for joining the stream. We're going to get to algo in 1 minute. So that's what I see in the macro. If you go look at total crypto, I already drew this last week. Same thing. It's most likely this is the scenario, but a tweet could send us back down.
Passive income, gold in my dental. Thank God for my mental. Investor fundamentals. Told my girl it was simple.